So, today the chapter is microbes in human welfare. Today now we will discuss the remaining points. What are the uses of microbes in human welfare? So, we will take microbes in production of biogas. Now, biogas is a mixture of gases which is produced by microbial activity and can be used as a good source of fuel. The type of gases produced depends upon the organic substances utilized by the microbes, as we have seen earlier that carbon dioxide was the main gas producing during fermentation of dough, in cheese and making beverages, while there are some bacteria that grow anaerobically. Anaerobically means in the absence of oxygen on cellulosic material, producing large amount of gases like methane along with carbon dioxide and hydrogen. These bacteria, they are called as methanogens. An example is methanobacterium, which occurs in the anaerobic sludge during sewage treatment. These bacteria are present also in the rumen of cattle. Now, you know what is rumen? Rumen is a part of stomach where these bacteria, they help in the breakdown of cellulose, thus playing an important role in the nutrition of cattle as they feed on plants containing cellulose. The excreta of cattle, which is called as cow dung or locally we call it as gobar, is rich in these bacteria and it can be used for generation of biogas, which is commonly called as gobar gas. Now, we can just go through the diagram of gobar gas plant or the plan how the gobar gas plant is formed. You can see in this diagram. So, there is a tank and there is a outlet for this inlet for the gobar, which is to be filled in this tank, which has a cover and then an outlet for the gas and the manure which is formed in gobar gas plant. The technology was developed in India by the efforts of Indian Agriculture Research Institute and Khadi Village Industries Commission. It has a concrete tank which is about 10 to 15 feet deep, in which bio wastes, which is gobar in our case, are collected in the form of slurry. Now, floating cover is placed over the slurry, which keeps on rising as the gas is produced in the tank. Due to microbial activity, the gas can be used like our liquefied petroleum gas or the LPG which we use, and the scum produced is used as a manure. Now, the gas is very beneficial as it has that natural products are there in it. The another point which we can discuss are microbes as biocontrol agents. So, what do you mean by biocontrol agents? It means that there is use of biological method for controlling plant diseases and pests. As there are problems with chemicals in the form of insecticide and pesticides, which are usually used by the farmers. Now, these pesticides and insecticides, they are highly toxic and extremely harmful to human beings and animals. They pollute the environment, which includes soil, water, the fruits and vegetable which are grown in that soil and given the water and other products. Biological control of pests and diseases. This involves use of predation. Farmers create a system where insects which are called as pests are not eradicated, but kept at a manageable level by a complex system of checks and balances within a living and a broad ecosystem. Now, these pests, they have to be maintained at such a level as without them the beneficial predatory or parasitic insects which depend upon them as food or host would not be able to survive. So, the use of biocontrol measures will greatly reduce our dependence on toxic chemicals and pesticides. For biological control, one should have a knowledge of various life forms in the field, their predation and pests, life cycle, pattern of feeding and their habitat. Now, best example in this case is of ladybird beetles and dragonflies, which are used for the control of aphids and mosquitoes. Aphids, they suck the sap from the plants, which is detrimental to the plant, and mosquito, which cause a menace to the human society. So, this is a good control agent. Now, here in the picture you can see the dragonfly, which is feeding on small insects, and another picture you can see of the beetle, which also is found in the soil and it is a good friend of farmers. Then another use is the use of bacteria Bacillus thuringiensis, which is commonly called as BT, which is used to control butterfly caterpillars. Now, these bacteria, they are available as sachet of dried spores, which are mixed with water and sprayed to the plants like brassica, or commonly we call it as sarson, and fruit trees, which are destroyed by the larvae of butterfly. As you know that larvae, they are the voracious feeders. The bacteria release toxin in the gut of the larvae, which causes it to burst. The larvae dies and the leaves remain unharmed. Scientists have introduced Bacillus thuringiensis toxin genes into the plants by the method of genetic engineering, and the plants are not attacked by insect pests. BT cotton is one such example, and I think you all must have heard about BT brinjal, BT tomato, which is in the experimental stage. Now, a free living fungus, Trichoderma, common in the root system, is being used in biological control of plant pathogens. Now, baculoviruses, a pathogen of the genus Nucleopolyhedrovirus, is used in control for insects and arthropods. They have no negative impact on plants, mammals, birds, fish and non-target insects, or when desirable, beneficial insects are being conserved in integrated pest management program, which is also called as IPM program. Now, another point is the use of microbes as biofertilizers. Fertilizers, most of them are nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium. So, they when they are used, they pollute our environment. So, the farmers are switching over to organic farming or use of biofertilizers. Biofertilizers enrich the nutrient quality of the soil. Sources of biofertilizers are bacteria, fungi and cyanobacteria. These bacteria, which you might have studied earlier also, and one of them is rhizobium, which are associated in symbiotic association in the root nodules of leguminous plants. These bacteria, they fix atmospheric nitrogen into organic form, which is used by the plant as nutrient. As we know, the plant cannot utilize the atmospheric nitrogen. Then there are some bacteria are free living in the soil as Azospirillum and Azobacter. Some fungi form symbiotic association with plants and they are called as mycorrhiza. Now, in this case the fungus absorbs phosphorus from soil and passes it to the plant. Plants are also benefited as resistance to root-borne pathogens, tolerance to salinity and drought, and increase in plant growth and development. Cyanobacteria, for example, Anabaena, Nostoc, Oscillatoria, they are autotrophic microbes distributed in aquatic and terrestrial environment, which can fix atmospheric nitrogen. Now, in paddy fields, cyanobacteria are used as biofertilizers. In India, number of biofertilizers are available commercially in the market and farmers use them regularly in their fields to replenish or replace the soil nutrients which are lost and to reduce dependence on chemical fertilizers. Now, we can summarize the chapter in few points, like first of all, microbes are important component of life on earth. As we have seen that if these beneficial microbes they are not present, the life cannot go on. That is one point. Second is all microbes are pathogenic, means they have to depend on others. Third, microbes or microbe derived products are used every day, as we have seen in our houses, like the formation of curd, in bread, then dosas, idli, then formation of cheese, that is there. The next point, microbes they are used in industry for producing the important medicines which are called as antibiotics, then beverages, the drinks which we take, organic acids. Then we have discussed about lipases which are used in detergents to eradicate the fussy fatty components. Another use is in waste disposal. Then sixth point, we can say that microbes they are used in producing gobar gas or the manure which is the product of gobar gas. Another point is in biocontrol and as biofertilizers. So, students, in this section and the earlier section we have studied that how microbes which are not visible to the naked eye are beneficial to our life and its existence. Thank you very much.